guys, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you've seen and if you want to see more. Coming up in this episode, I talk about the new incomings for the Blues as they go up against Queensland in State of Origin 1 on June the 8th. And I bring you results, scores and scorers from the games from round 5 of the NRL Saturday and Sunday games. Now that round 12, the Indigenous round of the NRL has closed, we are now going to look into the scores, scorers, and also the results of those 5 games that were played over Saturday the 28th and Sunday the 29th of May 2022. And also, give you a brief outline of how the game went through the scorers. So let's begin. So the first game that was played on Saturday was the New Zealand Warriors taking on the Newcastle Knights, as both teams were looking to get back into winning ways. And it was Newcastle that came away with the victory, 24 points to 16. Early in the game, Adam Pompey and Vilami Vilea scored tries on the 4th and 8th minute, which were converted by Reece Walsh, both of them, for a 12 points to 0 lead. But Newcastle came back with tries from Tyson Frizzell, Edric Lee, before Dylan Watani-Zelezniak scored for the New Zealand Warriors in the 50th minute. There was also a sin binning after Enari Tuala's try for the Newcastle Knights, which up to now Jack Clifford had been successful with the boot, 100%. The sin binning came in the form of New Zealand Warriors Marcelo Montoya's 58th minute sin binning, which meant that the lead changed hands in one direction, and that was the Newcastle Knights, as Reece Walsh missed Zelezniak's kick. Jake Clifford kicked over Enari Tuala's second try of the game for 24 points to 16. The next game in the rotation was South Sydney Rabbitohs versus West Tigers, and it was the South Sydney Rabbitohs who came out on top. It was a 44 points to 18 scoreline, but it all started so well for the West Tigers as they went 12 points to 0 up in their game too, as Asu Kepa Oa scored on the 6th minute, and with Kem Molimano scoring 2 minutes later on the 8th minute, which Luke Brooks kicked the 2 conversions. Back came the Rabbitohs though. Alex Johnson got his first try of the afternoon, which Cody Nikorima converted. Then Sylvia Havili scored the next try on the 33rd minute, but it was the West Tigers half after Nikorima scored the second conversion, as Ken Molimano scored his second of the half, and ultimately the final points for the West Tigers just before half time, as Luke Brooks converted for an 18 points to 12 half-time lead. But unanswered points of 32 came through the tries of Alex Johnson for his second try, Campbell Graham, and then Johnson for his hat-trick, while Cody Walker scored 2 tries after each other, 65th and 71st minute, and Jackson Polo scored on the 77th minute. Cody Nikorima converted the Johnson second try, but it was left to Blake Taft to kick 3 more conversions for Cody Walker's 2 tries and Jackson Paulo's try at the end. And the final game on Saturday was the Cronulla Sharks versus the Sydney Roosters, and it was the Roosters that came away with the win, 36 points to 16, and it was a devastating first half that kept the win in the Roosters bracket. Daniel Tupou scored 2 tries, Nat Butcher and James Tedesco both got a try apiece, while Sam Walker kicked 2 goals for a 20 points to 0 half-time scoreline. After Gerard Wahera-Hargreaves scored to make it 24 points to 0, the Sharks suddenly woke up as Ronaldo Mulitalo, Tione Katoa and Cameron Innes all got on the try-scoring bandwagon, while Nico Hines kicked 2 goals, that for Mulimato and Cameron McInnes' try. Joseph Manu and Connor Watson put the gloss on the Roosters' win to extend their lead to 36 points to 16 after Sam Walker converted both of their tries. Let's now go into the 2 games that were played on Sunday as the NRL comes to its close for round 12. We will see in these 2 games St George-Illawarra Dragons go to Canterbury Bulldogs, and the Camber Raiders face off with the Parramatta Eels. So in the order that they were shown, well, not just shown, actually played, the Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs played the Dragons first, but it was the Bulldogs that came away with the loss, I'm afraid, as the Dragons won 34 points to 24. The Bulldogs took the lead early on after kicking an early penalty in the 13th minute, but Tautau Moga was the first on the try-scoring list, which was followed by Matt Fagia for the Dragons, as well as another for Ben Hunt to push the lead out, which was responded by the Bulldogs, must admit, by 2 tries from Jake Averillo, which one was converted by Matt Burton, and then it was Carl Flanagan who got on the try-scoring list afterwards, which Burton also converted. Zach Loma, Andrew McCulloch and Blake Lorry all went over for tries for the Dragons to seal out the win, with Zach Lomax kicking 5 goals for the day. But Aaron Shupp scored the last points for the Bulldogs. Not the last points of the game, but the last points for the Bulldogs after Matt Burton had converted. And the final game of the weekend was the Camber Raiders versus Parramatta Eels, as these two face each other and usually produce good games. And so it was, yet again, as Camber Raiders succumbed to the Eels 28 points to 20 in the week just before the Origin Game 1 squads were announced. It was the Raiders that scored first after Sebastian Chris scored and Fogarty converted, but Will Penasini had his try on the 11th minute, which Mitchell Moses converted. Brown then added a try on the 16th minute to extend the lead in the Eels' favour to 12 points to 6 as Mitchell Moses again added the conversions. Englishman Whitehead scored the next try to keep the ties close as Fogarty added another conversion. Simonson scored against his old side on the 27th minute, and then Chris went over for his second try, which Fogarty duly converted, which made it 18 points to 16 at half-time to the Raiders. It was made 20 points to 16 on the 43rd minute as Fogarty kicked a 2-point field goal, but Simonson scored his second, with Moses converting, which was followed by on the 65th minute by a second Brown try, and Moses closing the deal for 28 points to 20. Staying down in the NRL for this episode, as there has been an early announcement for one of the sides in State of Origin, and that is the New South Wales Blues, as they have named their squad for the up-and-coming Game 1 of 2022. Now, in those squads are Names that you would usually expect: Nathan Cleary, Damien Cook, Tyson Frizzell, Payne Haas, Appy Carousel, Cameron Murray, Tariq Sims, Brian Toto, who was a revelation last year, and Captain James Tedesco, just to name a few. But there are two names that have been put on there as well. As you see, Stephen Crichton and Katoni Staggs will form a new look centre duo for the New South Wales after the Blues named their 22-man squad for the Origin series on today. Panthers Crichton and Broncos Staggs were both named as part of the extended squads by Blues coach Brad Fittler, which also include potential Origin debuts for halfbacks Nico Hines and Eels forward Ryan Matterson. Hines first was part of the NRL's New South Wales Origin camp during the 2021 series, while Matterson was previously the 18th man for the Blues during their successful 2019. In total, the squad includes 6 players, with Hines, Crichton, Staggs and Matterson joined by Knights forward Jacob Safiti and Roosters young gun Joseph Suwali. With Tom Travojevic out with a shoulder injury for the series and Latrell Mitchell not set to return from his hamstring injury until round 15, Crichton will likely partner Penrith's teammate Brian Toto on one edge, while Staggs links up with the Roosters winger Daniel Tupou, who has not featured for the Blues since 2020. The Blues will be based at Coogee in Sydney's eastern suburbs in the build-up to Game 1 at Accor Stadium on Wednesday, June the 8th. Queensland will name their squad at 9 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time on Monday the 30th of May. So, tomorrow. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and also click that notification bell for any updates that may be coming your way in the next few days. And also, please remember to share this video worldwide, as we like to grow the game of rugby league, so it's me and you guys are not kicked in yet. Anyway, tell me what your thoughts are of today's episode. I think, in my personal opinion, that the game between the Raiders and the Eels was the best game of the weekend. Not forgetting a certain game in the UK. I'm just talking NRL at this point. That certain game in the UK, I will talk about a little later on today with a second video. Just my way of looking at the entire day as a whole for the Challenge Cup final. It's a good event. Good event. Needs to be promoted more. That's why it's up to me and you to shout it from the house rooftops. 51,000 there. Excellent start for a stadium that we may not use again for the final. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share all of these videos worldwide. And also, please stay safe. I wish you all the best. And I'll see you in the next episode.